That's one way to get us up here. We're actually starting a little early.
Good morning. We're ready to rock and roll here. How about you? Ready to go? We're going to start with a song to greet the day with. Invite you to sing with us as we get going. Here we go. 1 and 2. I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day. I will greet the evening. Love will guide my... Sing that with us again. I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day. I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. The sun goes down, the sun comes up, the earth goes round, and I fill my cup with the goodness all around me. I know love will guide my way. Chorus. I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day. I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way.
Money comes and the money goes. I count my blessings, count my woes, but the kindness all around me grows. Love will guide my way.
'Cause I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day, and I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way.
Through broken hearts and broken bones, by internet and mobile phones, through gentle or impassioned tones,
Love will guide my way. Sing it out now.
I will greet
Greet the morning, and I
will greet
greet the day.
I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way.
Here's an appropriate verse for our moment. Through times of fear and sadness, through times of joy and gladness, and through apocalyptic madness, I know love will guide my way. And I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day. I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way.
So put your hands up to the rafters, sing and shout with laughter. 'Cause if it's hope you're after,
I know love will guide the way. And I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day. I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. We will greet
the
morning, and we will greet the day. We will greet the evening. Love will guide the way. I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. Through whatever else may happen, I know love will guide my way. Love will guide the way. All right, that's the way to start. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, those of you who decide to stay home in the comfort of your air-conditioned living room. It's air-conditioned in here, though. It's not too bad. I would like to bring up, let's see, who's on now? Who's on first? Mary Myers. Come on.
Okay. Well, good morning. You guys crack me up. So, good morning, welcome. And, I was thinking about what am I going to do for my opening, and I just feel compelled to pull a Heather, which means that I'm going to talk for a little bit, but just a little bit before I read what I brought to share with you. Because I just feel like I want to share with you what's a little bit of what's been going on for me. And so here goes. I hope you know that if I had a cold or if I had something that was contagious, I would stay home and I wouldn't come close to you because I would worry about infecting you. But what I forget sometimes is that emotions are contagious. And when I'm feeling great, I love to spread that joy and share that with others. And yet, there's times when I'm not feeling great and I'm overtaxed, overwhelmed, and I forget that those emotions are also contagious. And I forget that it's important to step back. And so it happens that I've infected people, and because I haven't stepped back. And so belatedly kind of realized that, kind of got hit over the head with it, and did step back. And yesterday, I'm proud to say that I canceled 2 commitments, which was hard because it's not what I do. I commit to stuff and I do it, even when I feel like I can't, but I did. And I just sat and did things a little bit here and there, but mostly I sat. And I just want to let you know that one of the things that reminded me of that is this book here, Spiritual Practice for Crazy Times, written by our speaker today, Phil Goldberg. And one of the many words of wisdom in this book is that waiting until you're calm and clear before you sit to meditate is like showering only when you're clean. And it's so true. But I was waiting to sit and do what I do when I'm calmer, which is to have a daily reflection and daily reading and breath. And I'm too busy. I don't have time for that. And so I found out the hard way that I need that, and I think all of us do. So I just wanted to open with that. For some reason, it just felt important to share that with you. Thanks. So, thank you. So I'm going to read this morning my favorite prayer, which I've read before from here and I've heard before from here. But I think it doesn't matter because this I could read every day and often do. It's known as St. Teresa's Prayer. And you might say, well, which St. Teresa is it that? Is it the one from Avila or this other one? And you know what? I don't know, and I don't really care. I'm not a big saint person. I couldn't really tell you who you're supposed to pray to when you lose something. It's whatever. But this prayer just lands me and really moves me. So here it is. I'm going to take a breath. May today there be peace within you. May you trust God that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith. May you use those gifts that you have received and pass on the love that has been given to you. May you be content knowing you are a beloved child of God. Let this presence settle into your bones and allow your soul the freedom to sing, to dance, to praise, and to love. It is there for each and every one of us. Okay. Thank you. Unity is a praying community. And we invite you to spend time with one of our prayer chaplains who are here today. And if you could let us know where you are, there's Deb Foss, there's Dennis Ryan, and they will be available to you afterwards for individual prayer. If you find that that's not what you want, many of you in front of you have little papers that look like this, a prayer request form. And when you fill it out, it doesn't matter, you can check all the boxes. There's options here what to check. Sometimes I check them all. I'm like, yes, all of it, please. And you don't have to sign it. You can. You put your name. You could not put your name. Doesn't matter, because the prayers will happen no matter what you do, okay? And these go right up here at this entrance, the Bradford Street entrance. It's called the answer box, because in fact your prayers will be answered. And if you're home, thanks for coming, thanks for tuning in, whether it's now or later. And you can send your prayers in to Unity Praise at unityalbany.com. All right. .org. Org. We're not a com. We're an org. Yes. All right. .org. So, what's happening at Unity? So right now, y'all need to buckle up, Buttercup, because there is so much happening. And you at home, you might want to grab a pen or paper and jot some of this down, because there's a lot. And in fact, those of you here don't need to write it down, because Jerry's already got this for us. This is our special events, and most, if not everything, is on here, but things keep happening, so you gotta stay tuned. All right, so today, just to add icing on the cake for today, which is like a day full of desserts, we have Mind, Body, Love with Jerry and Pete. And it's called A Healing Sound Experience. And I went to their first one, and I did feel healed. It was amazing. And some of you were there with me. It was fantastic. So thanks. And you would, even though might as well just settle in and, just stay here, because it's going to be great. All right. All right. And we welcome back today, of course, Phil Goldberg, who's bringing us the message, The Grace of Grace. I love that. I can't wait. And this book, by the way, awesome. And it is in our bookstore. Just saying. Then later, for the afternoon workshop, Phil will give us the timeless wisdom of the Upanishads. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's how I say it. And those are the mystic ancient scriptures of India. And that's going to be great. I know I've never been to one of Phil's workshops that I wasn't absolutely happy that I went and took a lot away from it. So I hope that you'll all agree with me when you stay. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to read the whole thing, because, we have buckled up for these announcements, and we got to just keep moving. But listen, this part is important because we want you to join us for hospitality downstairs. And in addition to our regular lovely hospitality of a little snack and cup of coffee, for those people who are staying for Phil's workshop, we invite you to come into the kitchen where we have a light lunch waiting for you. So you're welcome to that because we want you to make sure that your stomach isn't growling during the workshop. That would be annoying. All right. Now, hospitality does matter, and there's a meeting about what matters with hospitality coming up next Sunday, June 29th. That'll be right after the service in the sanctuary. Current volunteers and potential ones. I'm looking at you and you. Let your voice be heard. What do you think we should be doing for hospitality? We have a new coordinator. Julie has passed the baton to Andrea, and we're going to get off on the right foot, bearing in mind, of course, that over the summer, hospitality elves do take the summer off, and you're on your own. Okay. Bridget is on sabbatical, as you probably know, and so we're blessed with some great guest speakers. And today is Phil. Next week will be Jerry and Pete, and you'll hear more about that coming up. But then on July 6th, we have Mary Beth Blinn. Many of you may know her. I happen to have become friends with her, and I'm so looking forward. She is a retired minister and will be sharing words with us on July 6th. Okay, and then that afternoon, we wouldn't want you to run out because that afternoon we have Jerry Patel, who is going to share a workshop with us. You are worthy, you are loved, reclaiming your inherent value. Suggested love offering, no one turned away, and I'm sure in your spare time you can go online and read all the things here. And there's flyers. So, you just, you got this flyer, there's another flyer for Jerry, and that's that. Now, meditation typically is Wednesday evenings, and Bridget had put it on hiatus, but guess what? We have awesome news because Pete is going to do in-person meditation Wednesday evenings this Wednesday and the following Wednesday, June 25th and July 2nd, in person. So I'm sure that will be good because Pete is good at that sort of thing. And then the following Wednesday, you can't believe it, but Dawn Danis is coming back. She is the harpist, and her it's enough just to listen to her play, but she'll also be guiding us in some meditation on July 9th at 6:30, also in person here in the sanctuary. But wait, there's more, because Church in the Park is coming up. So mark your calendars. This is not to be missed. July 13th at Thatcher Park in the Paint Mine Pavilion. We'll be joining for service and singing and drumming first thing in the morning. Nothing like drumming early in the morning. So I've heard. Pete gets quite a circle going that Sunday, and this July will be no exception, I'm sure. As usual, our service that day is 11. So those of you who have been pining for the 11 o'clock service, here we go. It will be 11 o'clock Sunday. But you do have to drive a little bit further, depending on where you're coming from, to go to Thatcher. And then we'll have a potluck lunch, more on that to come, okay? All right, so let's take a breath because that's the end of the regular announcements. But as this is, in fact, the fourth Sunday of the month, we are keeping with our tradition of providing our treasurer's report. And this is something that we're going to make sure that we do every fourth Sunday. And here comes our fantastic treasurer, Debbie Durkee, and I'm going to let her take it.
Thanks, Mary. As you can see, the Divine Love offerings were, our output was a little more than our input in May. And our spiritual offerings here, however, are wonderful, and we offer so much. And I was going to say some of the things we offer, but I think Mary did a great job, and for conserving time. But we are a community that is rich in service, in love, in support to one another. So that's wonderful. And take advantage of some of our wonderful things. Last week, I got to, or during this last couple of weeks, the prayer group here and friends from Unity have been so supportive while my son was in the hospital for 3 weeks. And all the prayers and outgoing love and support was wonderful. And he's now home, back in his community residence and doing fine. So thank you. And let us remember that during our summer months, we are here and we need to be supported and nourished so we can continue to thrive and flourish as a community, and so that we can offer so we can go outside of our community and help others. I think we have another slide. Or is that it? Okay. And you can see that we have months of coming out almost equal, months where we're a little ahead and months where we're a little behind. Just, but we at Unity, we proclaim prosperity, grow prosperity and mindedness, and foster community missions throughout with our abundance. And so please keep in mind that we are here all summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Okay, let's settle in for the daily word. The daily word is guidance. And if you'll say with me, with an open heart and mind, I heed divine guidance. If I am feeling lost or do not know which way to turn, I take comfort in knowing I can pray and bring my awareness to my connection with God. Wherever I am on my spiritual journey, I receive divine guidance continually, and it is up to me to heed it. Divine guidance does me little good if I doubt it or feel too hesitant to act upon it. I commit to remaining open and receptive as I receive my guidance. Even if the call of my heart surprises me, even if I doubt I can do what I'm being called to do, I trust the still, small voice within. I affirm, I am divinely guided and faith-filled. And from Isaiah chapter 58, the Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your needs in parched places and make your bones strong. And you shall be like a watered garden, like a spring of water whose waters never fail. And once more, with an open heart and mind, I heed divine guidance. Thank you.
Okay. Well, in consort with Phil's talk today on grace, we're going to sing about it now. And Pete, start us off. Grace, 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 grace. Finally I rest, no more guessing where I'm going. Finally I trust that the wind knows where it's blowing.
You created heaven and earth long before my birth. The entire universe keeps turning. You hold every child in your arms, like the sky full of stars, and they know who you are. I'm learning.
Grace, I can feel it. Grace, I can feel it. Moving through my soul, promising you'll never let me go. Finally I see every moment has its reason, simply meant to be, like the turning of the season.
You created all with your hands. I need not understand the invisible plan you're writing.
Everywhere such infinite love, so much more than enough.
It keeps lifting me up.
I'm rising. Sing it with us. Grace, I can feel it. Grace, I can feel it. Moving through my soul, promising you'll never let me go. Oh, grace, grace, grace.
Can you feel
Grace, grace, just grace. Grace,
Can you feel it? Oh, grace.
Can you feel it? All right. We're going to welcome Deb Foss up to do one of the little Bridget parts of the service.
Good morning. I forgot to bring a poem. Okay. So I'm going to invite us all to close our eyes for a moment. Maybe place your right hand over your heart if that feels good. and come home to your breath. Divine breath. May peace flow through our hearts and through the world. And so it is. And if you like, you can open your eyes. Okay, so we have our community affirmation. Thank you, Lamont. God is the divine gift of the universe. We are one with the divine flow. We envision a world transformed through the spiritual awakening of us all. We awaken to and embrace the divine essence of all beings through prayer and service in our community and in the world. And our affirmation of oneness. The power of Christ's love now releases me from any sense of separation from spirit or others. There is only one presence and one power in my life as in the universe, the all-loving goodness of God.
Some of you who have been to One Song services will recognize this next song. It's in Sanskrit, and the words come from the Upanishads. So it seemed like a perfect day to do this with you and teach it first to some of you. Repeat after me. Om Asatoma.
Om Asatoma.
Satgamaya.
Satgamaya.
Tamasoma.
Tamasoma.
Jyotirgamaya.
Jyotirgamaya.
Mrityorma.
Mrityorma.
Amritama. Amritam Gamaya. Amrit. All right, it's a mouthful, but we'll get it. We'll do it. We'll sing it a few times, and you'll catch on. Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om 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 Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam. Play what instruments they have. Lead us from unreality to the reality of the eternal self. Lead us from darkness to light, light of true knowledge. Lead us from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality. Here we go. Asatoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityoma Mritam Gamaya. Once more, softly. Asatoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. I'm going to ask Pete and Julia to stay and kind of keep riffing on that a little bit. And I'll lead you with a little summer solstice meditation that was shared with me. It comes from the app Insight Timer, which maybe some of you use daily meditations. So make yourself comfortable again. Maybe as Deb led us, you could place a hand on your heart if you like, or just relax into this moment. Unclench your jaw. Soften into your seat. With your eyes closed or gazing gently downward, take a nice deep breath in. And release it. And release all the cares of the day with it. Visualize yourself in a favorite spot in nature. See the sun and the sky above. Feel the sun's warmth on your face. Feel the light surrounding you. See the rays of the sun pouring down around you. Let it begin to slowly swirl in front of you, creating a spiral of light. And slowly, the spiral kind of twinkles and shimmers like a miniature golden galaxy spinning in front of you. It continues to turn slowly until it begins to take on a different shape, maybe a shape that comes to your mind, that speaks to you. And what's forming in that golden light? What energies are taking shape from the summer solstice sunlight, carrying the energy of warmth, of joy, creativity, strength, happiness, healing, and peace? What is it revealing to you? As that golden light continues to take shape and you ask yourself, what message is being shared through this symbol? What insights can you take away from what has been revealed? Take a few moments to ponder and let the light of the sun illuminate your understanding. Now see this golden symbol shrink down into a tiny ball of light, like a miniature sun, and see it enter your chest. Feel the sunlight enter your heart, filling you with the light of the summer solstice. Feel its light and warmth spread throughout your body, moving from your heart down into your belly, down your legs, into your feet, into the very tips of your toes.
and out from your chest, your arms and hands to the tips of your fingers, up from your heart, through your neck, into your face and head, all the way up to your crown. You feel warm and content, safe and filled with the light of the summer sun. Take a deep breath in and let it go out. Allowing that light to pervade your being and spread out from you to the world. And when you feel ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe stretch your shoulders back a little bit. And when you're ready, open your eyes and return to this present moment. As we welcome Phil Goldberg.
Good morning, everybody. It's really nice to be back here and speak to real faces. I do so much online that it's good to see people from below the neck. See all of you in your Sunday best shorts. I want to thank Roger and Bridget for inviting me back. And it's kind of a form of grace to be looking at real faces and seeing human beings we forget in this digital age. And also nice to see you've added a brass section since I've been back. And I want to thank Roger for choosing that invocation from the Upanishads, which just happens to be what I was going to read and will at the beginning of our workshop this afternoon without the Sanskrit. For some reason, grace was on my mind when I was invited, and I said, let's talk about grace, and it keeps coming up. And I began noticing how many different ways we use the term in English language. There's when we say we talk about an elegant person moving with grace. We talk about somebody having the good grace to do something courteous or thoughtful or to admit a mistake. We say that somebody graces the room with their presence. We say that you have a grace period in paying back a loan. In England, they call certain people your grace. In churches, they do the same. But in spiritual and religious circles, of course, it has a certain kind of meaning, and it's usually it is defined as the free, unearned, undeserved favor of God. And it comes in different forms, but the usual connotation is it's not something planned. And in the West, in their typical conception of God, it's something given, something granted to us. Amazing grace, was blind, now I see. Something changes, some gift has come, maybe
alleviation of guilt and shame and some form of sort of feeling of forgiveness or divine love, or a moment of a revelation or insight. And people use it in different ways. For example, I heard recently of a priest in a local rural pastor situation in a parish. And he's young and he's new, and he gets to and from church on his bicycle. And one day his bicycle is gone, and he suspects it was stolen. But he needs his bike, and he goes to the senior priest and says, I don't know what to do. It's how I get to and from the parish every day. And the priest says, I have an idea, since you suspect it was stolen. You do the sermon on Sunday and do it on the 10 Commandments. And when you get to thou shalt not steal, look at the faces in the pews. Look at the people you suspect and see if there's any change, and then you'll know. So Monday comes around, and the senior priest says, I see you have your bicycle back. It must have worked. He said, no, it was grace. It was God's grace. He said, I got to thou shalt not steal, and nothing happened. I didn't see anything in the room, and I started to feel down and panic. But then by God's grace, when I got to thou shalt not commit adultery, I remembered where I left my bike. So, God's grace. By the grace of God, I was able to adapt that joke to this moment. But the point being that we don't earn grace. It's in a sense something given to us. But that begs a lot of questions, theological questions about Western religion, because it evokes this sort of generous uncle who, says, oh, look, I got you a toy, or surprise, there's a check in the mail. Or if you're old enough, you may remember a TV show called The Millionaire, where the anonymous, secretive rich man writes a check for $1 million in every episode, and it's given to a needy person, and complications ensue. Grace is like, that's the image of God, but it sort of begs the question, if that's true, how are these choices made? Is this some kind of wheel of fortune thing, and or a cosmic lottery, or God opens the phone book and says, grace for you, or Oprah, you get grace, you get grace, you get grace. But one of the interesting things is that in the East, where they have a very different conception of these things, of the nature of the divine, they use the word grace, or at least it's often translated that way by whoever does the English translations of saints and the Eastern sages' writings and all that. They'll use the word grace, but it's meant in a kind of different way. Not just in the East, but by the mystics, the Western mystics, the Christian mystics, the Jewish mystics, the Sufis. It's more like what you are used to hearing here. And that's not a coincidence, because I happen to know Charles and Myrtle Fillmore read the Upanishads and other Eastern texts. somebody I interviewed recently on my podcast who's written a book with grace, and the title defined it as, grace is the direct experience of divine presence coming alive from within you. So it's a gift, but it's not like, an Amazon delivery that you didn't expect. It's not coming from outside. It's something that arises from within us. And in people's experience, it feels like something happened to them. And so it's attributed to a God figure. Thank you. Because you want to thank somebody. And you can thank yourself for allowing it to arise. But we like to give form to the divine mystery of things. So it's understandable it should come that way. But it's more helpful to think of grace as something arising from within that is always present, it is always available, if we're open to it. And we can't predict it. We can't make it happen. We can't schedule it on our Google Calendar and have a reminder. You can't coerce it. It's like, it's unpredictable. It's spontaneous. It's an arising. It's like we can't make ourselves fall asleep. We can't coerce, we can't make ourselves fall in love. These things happen. We fall into it, right? That's why we say we fall asleep. We fall in love. You know, a single person who longs for a mate can't say, well, I'm going to go to a bar tonight and fall in love. You know, it just doesn't happen that way. And any sleep expert will tell you if you are tired, you have to just let sleep come. You invite it. You do things to make it more likely to happen. You look your best when you go to the bar. You keep your bedroom quiet and relaxed. You can't, these things aren't to be forced or to be scheduled or coerced. Neither can grace. It comes in different forms. People say, oh, it was grace. They have a vision, they have a realization. And you see it in spiritual biographies all the time, these moments of grace. They're always unexpected. So while you can't make them happen, can you at least encourage it? Can you at least be prepared for it? Can you at least be ready for it? As Shakespeare says in Hamlet, the readiness is all. One of the great saints of India, Sri Ramakrishna, said that grace is like the wind. It's there, but you have to set your sails. You set your sails. What does it mean to set our sails? It's like, divinity has you on robocall. It's going to call you something. It's your turn will come, but you have to be ready for it. You have to have your phone on. You have to be prepared. You have to show up. We put ourselves in position to be open to grace. Whatever it is we do, we come here. We go to walk in the woods.
we go play with a child, we listen to certain music. We don't think I'm preparing myself for grace, but that if we do certain things and put ourselves in certain places, we're signaling not to some figure in the heavens, but to ourselves. We're signaling that we're open, we're ready for this, we're prepared. And we know there are certain places and certain situations where grace is more likely to occur. It's more likely to occur when you're walking in the woods and it's quiet and you're listening to the birds than it is in a gym or, some other noisy, smelly place. But not necessarily, because grace, the history of spiritual literature is filled with people who had prison grace and hospital grace and Skid Row grace. These things happen. It can't be predicted. But we're playing with the odds here. We're all gambling. We do our best to improve our odds. And sometimes grace comes in the midst of the most ordinary things. You've probably all heard the famous quote from Brother Lawrence, the Christian monk. Yes? How many? No? Okay. In the noise and clatter of my kitchen, where he worked in the monastery, while several persons are calling for different things, I possess God in as great tranquility as if I were on my knees at the Blessed Sacrament. So this is the kitchen saint. This is grace doing the dishes. One of the key moments in my own spiritual journey when I was reading J.D. Salinger as a young reader, not Catcher in the Rye, subsequent word, one of his short stories where a young spiritual prodigy named Teddy, who's the name of the character the story is named after, talks about his first spiritual mystical experience was watching his younger sister pour milk into a glass, and he realized all she was doing was pouring God into God. These ordinary moments. It's happened if we're open to it. I recently wrote a Substack that I titled Grace on the Uptown Local about an experience my wife and I had on the New York subway a few weeks ago. There's no time to tell the whole story, but it had to do with a young woman who happened to be reading Dostoevsky for pleasure, reading Crime and Punishment, this 5-pound, 800-page book, and we started a conversation with her. And we realized, afterward, it stayed with me because she was not only reading Dostoevsky for pleasure, because I asked her if she was a graduate student in literature, but she was studying classical voice. She wants to be an opera singer. And I thought, this is not supposed to be what young people are like now. They're supposed to be buried in their cell phones and being very surly and wanting to be an influencer. And so I counted this as a moment of grace. It was a beautiful experience. And no one has conversations on the subway anymore. But we took a chance and started it up, and it stayed with us. It was a beautiful thing. For some people, they may not call that grace, but I considered it that. So a lot of this is subjective. But the key thing is setting our sails. A guru I once studied with used to say that knowledge
is different in different states of consciousness. You could say the same thing about reality. You could say the same thing about grace. Grace comes in if the consciousness is ready for it. I live in the Berkshires. It's beautiful. Just after 40 years in LA, to have to drive somewhere to do a chore and seeing the beautiful hills is still a beautiful experience for me. But it's been 3 years now. So it's less likely to dawn on me how grateful and fortunate I am. It's like, this is the ride to the hardware store. But sometimes I fully appreciate it. Sometimes I take a walk in the woods near my home, and it's sublime, it's divine. Other times, I might as well be on a stationary bike in, a gym somewhere, because what's different? Me. What's different is what I'm bringing to the moment. And that's what we always have to ask ourselves. Someone once said that sitting in church doesn't make you spiritual any more than sitting in a garage makes you a car. It's what you bring to it. You had this beautiful music and the meditation that Roger led and all this. That makes life more conducive to grace. But you all know that there's times when you come here, you might as well have slept in. Other times you come here and you feel something divine and something elevating, something sublime, something sacred, something holy. Same place, basically the same routine. What's different? Something made you more open in those moments. Something made you more ready. So what can we do? A Zen master once said that enlightenment is an accident, but meditation makes you accident prone. You could say the same about grace. It's an accident, it's a gift, it's a phenomenon. But we can open ourselves, we can set our sails, we can make ourselves accident prone. Spiritual practices of all kinds, whether you're inclined to prayer or meditation or mindfulness or sacred music or whatever it is you do, acts of service, they make us accident prone. They raise the odds of grace coming to us. A quiet mind, a trusting attitude, an openness on the subway, in the traffic, at home, God help us, watching the news. An openness. What can we do at this moment, at any moment, to invite grace, not by asking for it and praying for it, but just by opening up, relaxing our cravings and our wanting and our egos, and just being more receptive. Taking a walk, going to Trader Joe's like I will this afternoon. These are everyday moments where if something happens, you say, oh, it's God's grace. But for something made you open to that at that moment. It may have been nothing you did consciously, but we can consciously condition ourselves by habit to be more open. We'll leave it at that because I'm very big on what the yogis call sadhana, regular practice, and anything I can do to encourage that, I want to do. And part of this afternoon's workshop,
The Upanishads are all about that, really, when you come down to it. They're treatises, the most sublime treatises on the non-dual eternal presence of the divinity in our lives. But they all point to practice. So anyway, we'll do with that. I hope you can come. I hope all of you will come. I hope you live streaming, you have an hour to get here. So come on down. And we'll make ourselves more ready. We'll set our sails for grace. Thank you for listening. Thank you for laughing at my joke. Thank you all for inviting me back. I hope to see most of you, or many of you, this afternoon. Blessings to all.
Come to our offering time. I invite you to find a place of grace and gratitude. And of course, many of you, like me, are giving online these days. And if there's a little bookmark, near you, we have been using those. You can just kind of, as your offering, your blessing, you can put that in the basket as it goes by. But let's say together our offering blessing. Together, divine love.
Flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
We are blessed to know that Spirit is our source. Thank you, Father, Mother God. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Okay, the song has a lot of words, but it has a simple chorus you can join our song. I don't think I put all the words up. I didn't put any words up for you, except for that. That's pretty much all you need for the chorus. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and...
Of human kindness, it becomes clear the time has come to willingly set aside our blindness and see the world as one. Nobody here has yet forgotten all of the joys we've ever known, and following freely what we feel, we're finding our way home. Here's the chorus. Shine on, steady on, steady on. We the people
becomes clear the time has come. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Gratitude for all that we are able to give and receive. Grateful for this place where we can come together and share the love and send it out into the world. We bless these offerings that they may increase our abundance here and prosperity in this place for all who give and for all who receive. Thank you, sweet Spirit. Amen. Okay, well, in closing. You're excused. In closing, we share together our prayer for protection. I invite you to stand. And, you know, we say these words every week, but really take them in today. Feel the truth of them. Together we say, the light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God.
The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We are unrepeatable expressions of the divine.
So it is. Amen. So we have to do, there's the obvious song we have to do today. How are we starting this one out?
You're giving her some chords.
Huh? Are you playing?
You're going to give her some chords.
Oh, that's right. I gotta know. In 3/4 time, too.
We'll give you grace, Roger. Start it.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved and set me free. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
It's grace that taught my heart to fear.
It's grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious thing that grace of me beyond my first belief.
Through many dangers,
Many dangers and toils and
I have already come.
have already come.
Amazing grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved and set me free. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Blind, but now I see. Good. Take a little break if you're staying for Phil's workshop, which I hope you're able to do. There's some lunch downstairs for you. There's some goodies for everybody, but help yourselves. I should point out, by the way, that we had been announcing Phil's workshop as a $30 suggested donation. Feel free, no one is turned away. And at some places it says 25. Give what you can give. Thanks. Oh, that's awesome.